I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
Oh, I don't know what's playing. Well, that was crazy. Somebody got their stuff on the background playing.
Not me.
Uh-oh.
I think it's Mark.
Somebody got their stuff on the background playing. Yeah, all my stuff shut off.
Mine is too.
Mark.
Mute Mark. Okay, can you hear me? Can't hear
All right.
you, Shane.
Hold on. Will's good. I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you. Let me try. Here we go. Mark. Will's good. I'm good. Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. What's up, John Wayne? Tony Marzano, Paramotor NC, Walter Priori from Australia. Australia.
I still got a Neko.
Do you have a browser open behind, perhaps? Like an extra tab or?
I had my my computer open, but it was muted.
Yeah, it's not you.
Oh, okay, because I
No,
got it
I think
closed now.
I think it was me.
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Welcome to the Crap Show, better known as hey, we kind of changed the name of the show to Paramotor Hangout instead of Tuesday Night Hangout. So if you guys see Paramotor Hangout, we just switched over to change the name to better, I don't know.
It makes
fit
it
the crowd,
easier
I
to
guess.
find and kind of describes what we're talking about. You know,
Yeah.
it's the topic that has brought us all together. You know what I mean? So,
And if you missed tonight's show, you can find it on where, Will? What podcast?
you can find it on Apple Podcast. Starting to upload them there, and just search for Paramotor Hangout. Should pop right up. Heck, just search for Paramotor and it'll pop right up.
Awesome blossom. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this private, very lavish, very luxury style fly-in that we just went to. I mean, the pool itself was heated to 92 degrees, just so you know. It was top notch. We have two hangars that we could have. One we occupied with all of our gear and our bodies, and cooked out and had a great time. The other hangar had was it a silver fox or a firefox? What is it?
Firefox. Wait, are you
Firefox.
talking about the browser?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
Mr. Waller's plane.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. You got the fox right.
It's what the fox said. Anyways, long story short, we spent the what was it? 4 days? 3 days?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
At Mr. Brian Haybell Waller's house. We got to meet the legendary parents of Brian, and they did not disappoint. They were absolutely phenomenal guests, and I'm super excited to have met them. And I wasn't so much of a bad guest that they invited me back for next year. Did you guys get an invite?
Yeah, we did.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, my cousin's in the house, Kenneth. What's up, Kenneth?
Hey,
Anyways, so what was, Mark, let me ask you, what was your favorite part of the fly-in?
As usual, the hanging out, just hanging out and seeing people, that's really good. And then the flying there is really good as far as the outs. A lot of farmland, mostly farmland. And so I enjoy that kind of flying.
Correct. Will, what was your favorite part of the fly-in? How was the air for you up there?
Oh, the air was like freaking butter, man. I didn't get a chance to fly myself because I threw my back out, and but that aside, I was honored to be Brian Waller's number 2 tandem passenger. He did a great job. He got some really good training, and I got to experience it from a tandem, and I loved it, man. It's just I love just going up, not doing anything, just watching other pilots, pull up next to you and interact with them, and looking at so. Yeah, Mark hit the nail on the head. It's just a beautiful area to fly. But when I first heard about Brian Waller's setup, I see the airstrip, that he uses to launch, and some of the area that he flies in, but nothing prepared me for what it actually was. I mean, when someone describes something to you, or when you see something on a video, you kind of get a mental picture in your head of what the surroundings are like, what the area is like. But man, it was just awesome. I mean, it was freaking PPG heaven. You know how they have like at Moonshiners, they've got the creek right next to the airport
Runway.
thing, and you always have something to do, during the off hours of not flying. That is Brian Waller's setup to the T. I mean, he's got ponds. He's got a indoor swimming pool, heated, a sauna. What else?
Hot tub.
A hot tub, freaking inversion table, gym. What are the other?
Greenhouse.
Yeah,
2 hangars.
Yeah,
personal chef.
I mean, it was just absolutely awesome. And his parents are the nicest people in the world.
Yes.
Great hanging out with them. His dad's got all kinds of stories about flying. He's been doing it for a long time. And I do regret not getting a chance to fly with his dad. I don't know why it didn't hit me, but that was kind of one of my goals when I was up there. But we'll do it next year.
I thought one of your goals while you're up there was be able to tie your shoe without being in pain.
Man, that's that's the worst freaking. I went up to Mark invited me over to his house the night before to spend the night, and that next morning, man, I was literally crawling down his hallway. It was just crippling pain. So
that had to be one heck of a game of the hokey pokey.
Yeah. Hey, while we're on that topic, Shane, I don't know if you know this, but Mark's house is like awesome. Totally.
Let me ask you something. We've all seen Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. Is it weird when you're in a bathtub and someone just pops in and says, I'm willing to wash you and all this? Because Mark's got staff on hand for everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that offered to wash him.
He really does. He has a nice house, and his wife, man, she should be an interior decorator. She's really good at that stuff. Just all how it's put together is just beautiful.
Yeah, I, I've not been invited. It's fine though. No worries.
Yeah, you
I mean,
will.
I invited Kristen. I told her she could bring a guest of her choosing.
So I've still not been invited.
That's
They,
terrible.
so my favorite part of the fly-in, I have a two-part series here. One, I love the history. Brian's family has been on this property for many years, and there's stories throughout every inch of this property. And I actually really enjoyed listening to the history of it. I have no history in my life, so when I get to hear other people, they're able to explain everything about the property, the history of it. It's fascinating to me. And the other half of this is there is nothing like sleeping in a 33-foot camper with a guy on the other side of the camper, and you get to hear him snore all night long.
Isn't that nice?
It is so awesome.
I wasn't snoring. I was singing.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
thought
how
you were
I came
actually
across?
selling logs.
Those Bose Quiet Comfort headsets would come in handy for something like that.
I
Man.
don't know if any of that's true. I didn't hear anything.
Tit. I
Yeah.
wasn't even in the camper.
Now, I will tell you one of the funniest things that's happened to me, and if anybody in the chat, or I know the guys on the panel have met Smart Car Brian, but anybody in the panel that's never met Smart Car Brian, he is absolutely petrified of making a scene. And I'm dead asleep. What morning was that, Mark?
That was Friday morning, I think.
All right, so Friday
morning.
Either which way,
Saturday
Friday or Saturday morning, dead asleep, I hear a car alarm go off. And I wake up and I am in freaking tears laughing from a dead sleep to a tearful laugh because I knew Brian hit his panic button on his car alarm, and it is 6 o'clock in the morning, and that thing's going beep, 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 beep. And I could just see him in straight panic mode trying to figure out how to turn the thing off. And I'm chuckling, and I hear Mark start laughing. And I'm like, dude, he's in panic mode right now. I can guarantee you. Oh, I laughed so
That's
flipping hard.
exactly how I would be if I did it.
Yeah.
Straight panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. Red just wanted everybody to play with him the entire time. He's like, I just woke up from a nap where I was dreaming of people playing with me, so now play with me because that's all he wanted. Red's a phenomenal dog.
And for anybody, I wish Brian was on the show with us tonight, but for anybody that I don't know if anybody's in the chat that did or didn't get an invite to it. But I owned a little tiny bit of property before. And, I know that Brian was, invited a very small group of people trying to test the waters for the very first time because this is their private residence where they have to live and fly. And so I think everything went well, and I think Brian looks forward to doing it in the future and maybe with more people. But I worry that people are like, oh, well, I didn't get invited, because I could see where that could happen. But this is their house, and so anyways, everything went great, and so hopefully we'll get to go back again.
Hey, not counting the pilot that couldn't fly, but how many pilots did we have there?
We had 8.5 in the air at one time.
Yeah, I still count, man. I still count. I was on camera duty.
You were flying. I mean, you were up in the air.
I was, and I actually took controls for a brief period of time. But honest, man, it wasn't about that wasn't the fun part. It was just looking around, and my full attention was just soaking it all in. It wasn't about flying or anything. It was just being up
Yeah.
there. And it just kind of, it was just a strong reminder of why I like this flight so, why I like flying so much.
Right.
And
The area
I'm-
is wonderful. Water towers is every time you turn around. Oh, did I put that on? Hold on here. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm
Well, they've
working.
got-
I'm working on a video from the Friday night flight. That's when we had eight paramotors up in the air at one time. And that's when you were up, Will, also. But I'm working on that video, and it's really cool.
Yeah, right on. Well, and it's much more than another thing that I really like is people would stop by. They just stop by. There's this huge hangar. They've got two big hangars, but where just you kind of circle around and start talking, and a neighbor will stop by or a cousin will stop by, and just man, it's kind of like for me, next year it's kind of like going to be one of those Willy Wonka golden ticket type things. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I was on my best behavior the entire time so that I get invited back next year. Mark just kept Brian's parents drunk the entire time. That's
Yeah.
I figured that's the only way they can tolerate us.
You get a bottle of wine. You get a bottle of wine.
I can't believe, Mark, though, I cannot believe that you would buy a bottle of wine from a Winn-Dixie, man. I mean,
I
come
know.
on.
I bought 3 bottles of wine from Winn-Dixie. And because I'm a baller, I bought the most expensive wine they sold, which happens to only be $25 a bottle.
I mean, Mad Dog's not that expensive.
No.
Hey,
it was
Brian
cheap.
Waller's in the house.
Yeah, I seen him earlier. I was ignoring him, but yeah. Hey, Waller, I claimed the same spot for my camper this year for next year, FYI. I don't care that my trailer hitch was sitting about eye level. It
was pretty hard, wasn't it?
Yeah, that thing was awesome. But and I had to take the so I have a shower tub in my camper, and the problem is things like 1.5 feet tall or 2 foot tall, and the base of the bottom of the shower pan is right in the middle of that. So when you go to step out, all wet and not prepared, you got to step out on this ground. But we used a little plastic folding step stool to get out of the shower, so it's not such a steep step. Well, we had to use that for the step into the camper from and we needed an extra step, if you will. And I mean, Mark getting out of the shower, I mean, he was like hanging on the top and his feet were just dangling, and then you had to drop to get into the shower or out of the shower. It was
Yeah, when Shane got a shower, he made me get next to it on my hands and knees, and he would just walk across my back.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bring my own camper next time.
well.
I tell you, Tony Marzano wants to know, how does he put in the application and for the fly-in next year? So get up.
I
to
answered
Tony.
it, Will.
It's a $300 application fee. PM me, man, and I'll set you up.
Yeah, I'll make sure you
I
get
answered
your
them in there.
Not all applicants approved.
Huh.
Yeah.
Tony, that's a long drive for you and Angela.
Yeah, man. But you know what?
Hey.
It would be worth it.
Hey, I will tell you, when we were getting ready to leave Sunday morning, there was some concern that Brian Waller didn't want us to leave. I think he was ready for us to put in our mailing address over there and yeah, just live the life on the Waller, the holler at the Waller flying, just keep it going year round.
Yeah. They got some man there, don't they?
Yeah, man, I absolutely loved that property. I absolutely loved his parents. Just Brian was Brian, typical Brian, super nice, great guy. And I was looking forward more than I was flying to meeting Brian's parents. I had to meet them, just had to. They didn't disappoint. Did not disappoint.
Yep.
They were super nice, super awesome people, and just good Southern folk, if you will.
Yeah, we even got a chance to meet Brian's cousin.
Yeah,
Is it Jason?
Adam,
No,
No,
not Adam.
Steven?
Jason or Justin? Who's that, Brian?
In a minute, Brian will answer because obviously we don't have a clue. But I know it's not Adam. Adam is the guy that flew with us that had the 2 daughters.
Yes. And then Steven was the guy that showed up on the motorcycle, the trike.
And Bob is the guy that had the wife and the grandkids. Those
Rob.
are all locals for the
Yeah.
people in the chat.
Yep. So
Josh wants to know what area he's in. Huntsville, Ashford, Alabama.
Yeah, down a little bit. I believe it is southeast of Dothan.
Yeah,
I know
you had to
it's
go
somewhere
through.
close to Dothan.
What was it? You had to go through Brain Bridge.
We didn't
Cedar-
have to.
No, listen. I was just like Brain Bridge. I'm screwed. This thing's gonna collapse.
Yeah. Oh, the pecan trees. Man,
Yeah.
they're just like it's like gold on the ground. There's these like pecans that had fallen from the tree, and it's like, man, the best pecans I've ever had. They're harder
Or
than
pecans.
into, but it was worth it.
So also peanuts that fell out of the loader or whatever. His dad went and got like a 7-gallon bucket of peanuts out of the farm, and man, everybody was. I almost just said something I don't want to say. Everybody was just eating nuts the entire time.
That's just nuts.
Andy said it anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, a good one. It was a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
and actually, Saturday morning, we were supposed to fly over to a local restaurant that,
Serves-
Brian has permission for us to land in their field. And they actually they wanted him to bring us by. And we got blown out that morning. But that was sad because we were all really looking forward to that. So now we have to go back.
We had 3 days of perfect, and I mean perfect butter air, morning and afternoon.
Yep.
3 days in a row. We planned, and I'm talking, I didn't pull my GoPro out one time. That night before, I made sure everything was loaded up, good to go. Got up, and Brian released 2 balloons that went up about 70 feet straight up and then hooked a hard 90, about 40 miles an hour. And I was like, I don't need to eat that much.
You could have flown home.
Yeah.
So
And his
Paula wanted
cousin's
me to
name
show
is Justin.
the cotton. That came off a freaking plant, man. I couldn't believe it. It's the first time I ever picked cotton before. Totally cool.
It's
And they
not,
got
you
fields of
didn't even
cotton.
find it at Walmart. You actually had
No,
to go
but
out
it
in the field.
feels just like that. You know, it's like that's pretty cool, man.
That cotton feels just like cotton. It's strange.
It does. It's like doesn't even have to be processed. I guess you have to take some seeds or something out of it, but that was pretty cool.
I don't know. I'm out. I couldn't tell you.
And I didn't know until Brian and his dad were talking about it that they actually, when the cotton's ready to be harvested, they spray the plants to kill off the foliage before they come and pull the cotton off of it. I didn't know that.
Now, the power plant and the sawmill were off in the distance. We could have flown to that, but they've never flown to the power plant or the sawmills. That was correct. Or do you guys not remember?
I mean, I know they were over there, but I don't know if they've ever flown that way. I know they never have flown to that nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
That's
Did
what I'm
you see
talking about. The
the-
nuclear plant. I want to fly over and drop a light bulb down the center of that, see if it lights up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brian
he
Waller,
says in the
and
chat you can't fly over it,
yeah.
but it'd be cool to fly close to it.
You
Closer.
can once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you're on the do not invite list.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. That's right. That's exactly right. And I have seen that happen more than once. So you gotta be on your best behavior. But it's not
Oh,
hard to do. Just
no, I withheld so many jokes because Brian's mom was around. But as soon as she left, I told his dad, he laughed, and we were good to go.
yeah.
So,
Hey, Matt Sloper suggesting a poker run at the Fly-ins. I've never done a poker run, but I kind of want to, because doesn't that involve a lot of landing out? And
yeah, I've done one at Wachula. That was with PPG Gorilla. He did. I forgot the name of it now. But they
How'd
used to
that
do.
go?
They used to fly from Wachula to Avon Park, over to Aviators, and then back. And the year that I did it, the last year that they did it, I went from Wachula over to Aviators. I'm sorry, Wachula over to Avon, landed there, and then got my card and flew back. And it wasn't all that great because I had some needy person that apparently felt like I needed to wait on them hand and foot for whatever reason. Long story short, but it was pretty much my first like flying in poker run thing. I just started flying at that point, and Angela, you can do whatever you like. I don't. It was early, and I'm not much of an AM drinker, but I mean, if you want to, you can do what you want to do. It's a single man sport and or woman, and I can't control what you do or don't do. You know what I'm saying?
Matt Sloper was talking about strobe on helmet, and I've had a strobe on my helmet for exactly 15 minutes, and
Me too.
I never found it. So I used Velcro to attach it. What have you guys?
I did the
used?
same thing Mark did. I used Velcro and 2 zip ties, held it on there.
Yeah, I have a PPG smoke on top of my helmet, and I just put Velcro on the center section and a zip tie on either end, and it's bulletproof.
Hey, real quick, does anybody know the similarities between a baby and a grenade?
No.
Both make a lot of noise when you throw them. Anyways, moving on.
Brian Waller says he want.
Let's
see. I want to do a tri-state run. Each leg is about 30 miles and makes a triangle: Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and back to Alabama. That'd be cool.
That's fine, but I still want breakfast.
Yeah.
You just bring you some pancakes in a Ziploc bag. Already you got syrup on it, and when you get hungry, it's now in-flight food. I did that with brisket that I smoked.
Man, that was some good steak, man. That was delicious.
I can tell you right now, it's nothing I did to that steak. It's the steak quality that I bought. I buy it once, twice a week here at home, and the pork chops. It's a pork chops and steak are just as good as each other until you've had the pork chops and steaks side by side. They are absolutely phenomenal. Both of them are, and it's nothing I do by no means. I put seasoning on it, grill it, and serve it. The steaks and the pork chops are absolutely amazing. I will tell you, if next year I can time it out just right, I will get and I'm not exaggerating, they have bacon that is a 1/4 inch, if not a little bit more thickness per slice of bacon. It's like chewing a bacon pork chop. It is so delicious.
Bacon pork chop.
Oh, it's amazing.
So cool. I had kind of staying along the same lines of private invites and stuff like that. Somebody asked me recently if there was a fly-in in my area coming up in the next week or so, and all I can say is that if somebody asks you about a private event that you've been invited to, is that it's not my. I don't know. I don't even want to give the person's name away, other than just
You don't have to.
yeah, it's a private invite, and it's just a few of us getting together or whatever, just kind of I don't know, it's something that's kind of happened recently, and it's a good topic to talk about because I guarantee it's happening all over the place.
Oh yeah, there's private fly-ins all the time, invite only kind of situations everywhere. I'm actually planning one maybe January, if not February, here in Florida. I haven't really even discussed this with you guys, but there is a campground that is PPG friendly right on the beach in Melbourne Beach, and we could work something out. So, our worst case scenario, everybody just piles up in my house or in the camper, and bring your own camper, whatever, and we'll put everything at my house, and then just drive to. It's about a 22-minute drive to either the compound or the Sebastian Airport, and we fly over to either which way. But it's on like Donkey Kong.
I was watching a video today of a guy that got arrested for flying on the beach. Did you see that? The video is a couple of weeks old, but he took off. This was in California. I don't remember where, but he took off, and then when he landed, there was this cop on the beach, state patrol or whatever, and with his lights on. Anyways, they arrested the guy, put the cuffs on him and everything. They took his paramotor, disassembled it, impounded it. And they say they arrested him for flying within 500 feet of a state park, but apparently they didn't know what to charge him with, and he had to pay like $700 to get his paramotor back. And he talked to a constitutional lawyer, and he said, "No, man, they definitely they stepped all over your constitutional rights by impounding your gear."
Oh yeah, but, I could only hope that happens to me. Honest to goodness, I could only hope that happens to me because I could pay my house off and whatever else.
Huntington Beach. There you go. Mad Sloper hit it. Huntington Beach. Is that's the one we're talking about? The video?
Most state parks have here in Florida have a 500-foot no fly zone from ground to 500. But I mean, even if you fly 30 feet above a state park here in Florida, it's not a local cop's jurisdiction. That's FAA. Am I right or wrong?
If you're flying over, do you talking about the state park, the 2,500 feet requested altitude to fly over a state park? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's 500 here in Florida, but whatever the altitude is, if you're flying within that, what jurisdiction does that fall under?
Well, as far as I understand, you're in the federal airspace system.
Right.
You would fall under the FAA's rules.
Correct.
But he landed. So he had to land too because his van was down there. So it's not like well, anyways, I hate to see stuff like that happen.
Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to that stuff, I just fly where I know I can fly, and if it says don't fly there, then that's where I stay out of. It's pretty simple in my book.
Yep. Jeff, he says it the best. Just try to do everything you can to stay under the radar.
Right.
And you don't have anything to worry about.
I did have a run-in with a sheriff down at the compound. Farmer said that I was cows. I was like, I hope they got video of that. Please have them, swear in and sign thing saying that that's what I was doing because everything I had was on video, and none of it. I never even crossed over cows, and the guy was wanting to take me to jail so bad. And I was like, dude, let's do it. I'm ready. And when I said that to him, it kind of made his head turn like the RCA dog on TV. He's like, what? And I'm like, dude, this is not your jurisdiction. I didn't do anything wrong. It's all on video. My flight, I have GPS. I can tell you the altitude, the time, everything. Nothing they're saying, I did. And I was just like, I'm ready to go. Like, show me the handcuffs and impound my truck, all that. I was ready to go. And he said, well, I don't know what the rules are, the law is here, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to let you go. I'm like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I was like, I'll be in the same spot tomorrow. I wasn't. I had to go to work, but I really would. If I didn't have to work, I would have been in the same spot the next day, just for the simple fact that I didn't do anything wrong. There's no law I broke.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, though, I mean, this guy still got arrested and still cost him $700. And
He'll get that over. He's going to get that back 10 times over.
he says he's not going to do it. He's just not going to go through the trouble of doing it and working with an attorney and
what?
Yeah.
No, I would. I'm all about some easy money. That's why I hang out with Will and Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, what happened? What did you find when you got back home? Unloaded your stuff.
Oh, I found you left your money in my stuff, DA.
I pulled a Will. Oh, I got on the
will
road.
It back to you in a couple weeks.
Hey, listen, I got on the road, and as soon as Krista got up at like 2 in the afternoon, I was like, oh my God. I was like, listen what I did. And I told her, and as soon as I hung up with her, Mark calls me. He's like, you're a dumbass. I'm like, what? He's like, you know what I found when I was unloading my stuff? I was like, no idea.
Huh?
And what he did to me when I came to his house, he did something for me. And then I was like, Mark, you really don't have to do that. Shane, it warms my heart to help friends out, and this is my way. And you want to deprive me of my heart being happy? So I said the same thing to him, and he said, I don't really care. You're getting it back.
I don't really care. I don't care about your heart that much.
And this is why having good friends is awesome.
Yeah, you just got to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
now
about
if we could just get a couple.
what was the mannequin's name? Dodo?
Oh, Dodo Dave.
Dodo Dave.
Yeah.
Which freaked me out every flipping time I looked over. I was like, oh, it's just a mannequin. He was in a trike sitting there in position ready to go, and it was freaking Dodo Dave. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, Matt Sloper's asking about a mount for a particular strobe, and I've found, I can't remember the name of the strobe that I had it made for, but I found a custom made 3D printed mount on thingiverse.com. So even if they don't have one made, it's a great place to get up with someone who's got a 3D printer, or I guess you can buy the, I don't know what you call the file for 3D printing. You can buy the file and print it out yourself. So there's that, dude.
Mad Sloper, you saw his comment, Will?
What'd he say?
He said that's the strobe that he was asking if Brian, if that was the drone that he was selling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've got a couple more places to look, so I'm not sure. But while I had Brian on there, I know I flew my drone, and I don't know if I left it there or not. He says Brian says if he finds my drone, he'll give was it Tony a good deal? He'll give someone a good deal.
You lost your drone?
Well, no. I've started unpacking, and it's not where I thought I had put it, but I've got a couple other places to look. So
how many places did you put where can you put a drone that you don't remember you put a drone?
Because I haven't unpacked the back of the van yet.
Oh, I tell you what a guy
Down
did
by
to
the
me.
river.
Hey, listen, this guy. I'll tell you what this guy did to me. He's like, "Hey, I was in your vehicle and your camper. I think I lost my Bose heads or earbuds. I look everywhere. I call him up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I found them. I must have forgot to tell you."
I put it in the group chat on accident. Shut up.
Just so nice of him. I mean, I'm at the gas station putting freaking 400 gallons of fuel in my truck and spend all day looking for it. Nothing. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I did not tell you guys on the way. All right, so on the way up, I go to stop at that mall station. It's the gas station on 10 at that exit. They were 51 cents more expensive than anything I've seen in the hour before I got there. And as I went in to pay cash, it says no public bathrooms. So I got back in my truck. I got back in my truck with very little fuel, got back on 10 West and hit, where's the next gas station or whatever. It's 21 or 22 miles. I was like, I got 31 miles. I'll make it. I get gas at the next available gas station, get to Brian's, do my thing, come back. On the way back, my truck is at 50 miles to empty. I'm like, oh, I type in my my GPS. I need to get gas. It says right here, the next exit. I get off of I-10, and I pull into that same exact freaking gas station. I'm like, nope. I get back on the 10 and drive another 8.6 miles down the road to whatever gas station it was and got fuel there. I was like, I refuse. I am not paying 50 cents more or 51 cents more per gallon because you're the only station. And you're not even letting people use the bathroom. I'm out. Sorry, Joker.
And what bothers me is that some of them don't have, the receipt thing. I have to have a receipt. So it drives me nuts when you got to go and stand in line just to get a receipt. But some of them don't have a way of cleaning your windshield. And it's like, man, that's paramount, especially when you're right off the interstate.
Right. Perini, what's up, brother?
What's up, Nick?
Perini's in the house. He had the right idea. He nailed it, just so you know. Because when he left, the winds went to crap. And I want to blame Nick for the crappy weather. Thanks, Nick. It's all Nick's fault.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
All right, so we had I made, and this is literally the name of the dish that I made, cheesy chicken spaghetti. Would either one of you guys like to tell the guests or the hosts of the people in the chat, the one ingredient I did not add to the chicken spaghetti?
This is cheesy. That's all I'm saying. And Pablo Pyro just joined us also.
What's up, Pablo?
I said it first and with feeling.
Hey, we got Chris from Eastwood Farms. He is a retired air marshal.
Really?
And a retired Marine.
Cool.
And he's about 6'5", 6'6", gigantic of a man. Super nice guy though. Just an all around great guy. He wouldn't get along with you two. You guys are jackasses.
Bill H in the house. I'm gonna share something here if that's okay.
Yeah, Brian Waller just said he got his first flight backwards, ground speed at the fly-in, 28 mile an hour winds at 300 feet. Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's not that bad. Come back 10 minutes later. Yeah, it wasn't that great. I'm like, I'm glad I just sat here and drank beer then.
Man, I love doing that. That is just, to me, a lot of fun. I mean, when I first started, it was kind of freaky, but
yeah. So, yeah, Mark, real quick. So Mark just put in the chat, no cheese, remember the next day at the grocery store. We were walking through the dairy section because I was eating dinner the night before going, something is freaking off on this. I don't know what it was. It was my very first time making this dish. Krista makes it all the time. and we were walking through the dairy section. And I see this the cheese, and I was like, oh, that's what I didn't put in it. And yeah,
It was good anyways, but yeah.
hold on.
So Matt Sloper asked what would be a good drone without spending thousands, and I have a DJI drone. It's a Mavic, something Mavic 2 Pro, whatever. Honestly, it's more than what I need, but how come I can't? Give me a second. I'll figure it out. This DJI Mini would probably be sufficient. I mean, it's only $300. It gives you 30 minutes flight time, and that's it's got a decent camera. It's got I mean, pretty much everything you would need, unless you're going to actually enter it into the sport. If you're just going to use it for capturing some quick video or whatever, that's pretty sweet right there. So, anyways, DJI.com. If you're interested, they have a way of comparing the different drones. And
All right, so Angela asked Brian to explain more, please. I'm guessing she's talking about going backwards while flying. So if you have a 25-mile-an-hour wind, if you have 25-mile-an-hour wing and the winds are 28 miles an hour, you're going 3 miles an hour backwards. Still, your wing thinks it's going forward, but it's not. You and your gear are all going backwards. I've done it several times. The first time it happens, it's freaky, but then you just let off the gas and go down a little bit lower, or get on the gas and go up until you find winds that aren't as strong. Usually it's easier to go down and find winds that aren't so strong. But the first time it happened to me, I did not like it. Second time, I was like, all right, this is cool. Actually, in Virginia, at Easy Pace, Mark and I were actually crab walking sideways, going next to the interstate. We were facing the interstate that runs next to Easy Pace, and we were literally just going sideways, which I had never done.
Yeah, and when you're flying backwards, everything is normal as far as you're just flying along. Only all of a sudden the world is going the wrong direction.
Correct. What's that, Will?
Oh, wait. Matt Sloper says he has 30 drones. What? Maybe I got the wrong person. I don't know. So sorry, Matt Sloper. What are you doing with 30 drones, dude?
He's trying to make a drone picture in the air. You know what they do with lights and everything?
Yeah, now that make UFO sightings real.
Yeah, right. The very first night, and I didn't tell Brian, I didn't tell any of you guys. I might have told Mark because he's not a snitch. I told Brian that I was planning to sleep with the doors open that very first night. Well, before I went to bed, I closed the doors, and then about o'clock in the morning, I got up to go to the bathroom and realized it was a little colder in there than I had anticipated. So I may or may not, there's no evidence of this, but I may have a heater in my camper for the third time since I've had it since 2016. Let it run 2 cycles to warm up, knock off the cold in there, and then got up, got dressed, and went flew that morning. But yeah, it was a little chilly. But after that, it wasn't bad at night. During the daytime, it was. So I was trying to be conservative. Alabama this time of the year is literally 30 to 35 degrees difference from morning to afternoon. So you're talking 50 degrees in the morning up to 85 in the afternoon. So in the morning, the very first morning I was there, I turned the heater on for 2 cycles and then turned it off, and then everything was fine. By 11:30, 12 o'clock, it needed air conditioning. I didn't use it. Mark got there. He and I both got in the camper and took naps and woke up sweating to death. Mark actually called his wife saying that Shane's mean, that I wouldn't turn the air on. And really,
I really think a lot of the heat was from you spooning me.
But yeah, I just didn't want to waste. I didn't want to use their power and stuff like that, even though I had full permission. But the 2 days after that, I was like, all right, it's warm in here. Turn that air conditioner on, and then I got me a good nap. I don't know about you, Mark, but I got a couple good naps in at the fly-in.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, do either of you guys carry with you an emergency toolkit?
Negative.
Yes, I call it. Yes, it's called a cell phone.
A cell phone. Well, if you did, what would you include in it?
A spark plug and a plug wrench. That's about it.
Well, and
I have
that was good,
never thought about it.
huh?
I've never thought about it.
Well, I'm going to put together an emergency toolkit. So it's going to be Allen wrenches with metric sizes 3 to 6, because that's what you're going to need. Screwdrivers, including a small one, so you can adjust your carb if you need to. There's just a few things. Lightweight spark plug wrench, like what you were talking about, Mark, where you can actually stick the screwdriver in it to turn it if you need to. A small knife, small locking pliers, small socket set 3 to 8 millimeters, an extra spark plug, wire ties, and that's it.
Are you talking about something to carry in your van?
No, no. And this isn't something like if I'm just going up and tooling around and flying over the LZ. This would be like if I was doing a cross country or whatever, to just have a little kit in the van to where I could grab it and throw it in my pouch. And
Yeah. And Brian says on here duct tape, WD-40,
Camera.
and also some zip ties, I guess. But yeah, I'm just gonna fly near you and let you carry it.
Yeah, I'm with Mark on that.
you do
Hey,
reach a point of diminishing returns. I mean, you got to carry that extra weight and stuff. But I mean, stuff that I mean, it's good to have. You never know.
I think I'm gonna start carrying stuff after I break down the first time. Until then,
No, I'm out. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just carry a 2-pound sledgehammer in case the motor doesn't work and I'm just sick and tired of it, and it'll crash and burn, and then I'll just get a new motor.
Cell phone emergency spot. Yeah, what is an emergency spot, Brian?
That's a satellite phone.
Oh,
No. It's not a satellite phone. What it is you push your
like a transponder.
Yes, it's kind of like a
yeah,
it's
a transponder.
Yeah. Damn, I could not think of what it was called, but yeah, you just push the button and it tells whoever you have programmed in it that's where you're at.
Cool. Well, that's I mean, yeah, I mean, you could really be super duper prepared, but I was just thinking of something real small that I could just throw in my pouch when I needed to.
I'm thinking now the emergency spot thing, that emergency beacon, you take that and leave the rest of the crap at home, because you could just call somebody to come get you.
You could.
Sounds easier.
I think if I plan to do another water foot drag, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my side pouch a life jacket.
One of those rubber ducky inflatable things.
Yeah.
I think you should put that on before you make the attempt.
Yeah.
Some water wings.
What's up, Ben? Yeah, we got it. All right, so next Tuesday, we are going to try. I will be heading to Savannah, Georgia for 2 nights with the wife, and we're going to spend some time in Savannah, Georgia before we go to this private fly-in. So I'm going to try, as I'm driving down or up 95 to Savannah, Georgia, to go. It may work out. It may not. I may come in and out. So it's up to Will and Mark to keep this as entertaining as always. Oh, Lord.
No, sir. That ain't my responsibility.
I'm going ahead and start apologizing now.
Hey, or we just skip next week. What do you guys want to do?
Hey,
I'm going to
y'all
try.
are finally going to get they're finally going to get their money's worth.
Georgia just got internet last year, and I'm pretty sure Savannah is in Georgia, so you'll be all right, man.
Well, I'm going to drive. I mean, you go through a small city like Jacksonville, they don't have very much internet service there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If you think Jacksonville is small, wait till you get to Georgia.
Mm. No, actually, I'm really looking forward to going back. So some of you guys may or may not know, my son was actually fighting cancer and had a bucket list to meet Adam Sandler, and we actually got to meet him in Savannah, Georgia. So we are going to plan to go back to the hotel where we stayed. Thanks to Adam buying or getting our hotel room, and then go to the studio where we spent, I think it was 6.5 or 7 hours on set of the movie The Do Over, and we're Gage. I literally lost Gage. I'm like, "Where's Gage?" And he's like, "Oh, he's in Adam Sandler's trailer." I'm like, Adam Sandler's sitting next to me, so why is Gage in his trailer? Adam's like, "Oh, I told him to go in there and play football," and he just hung out, played with the dog, and I mean, it was full run of the place. Gage had everything, anything he wanted, just had to ask or make a suggestion, and it happened. So pretty awesome. We want to go back and do some reminiscing of that day, and find out what else in Savannah that we would like to go and hang out and do. I plan to take my wife to a couple dinners and not feed her for breakfast or lunch, but that's cool. Don't worry about that. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm looking forward to a couple days with her and then coming to the fly-in, the private fly-in, and hanging out with the rest of you guys.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And plus, hey, Savannah is a really cool town. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, stepping back into history.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be fun too. So it's gonna be interesting. Ben, I'll be more than happy. I'm gonna see you to tell the story. Krista has her way of telling it. I have my way of telling it. Both are hilarious and pretty dang awesome. So, anything else, guys? What do
Yeah, it's good catching up with y'all.
Oh, I will tell you to make sure you check the 10-day forecast before you guys plan packing for this trip, because this up and coming flying, because it looks a little chilly.
What, North Carolina?
I don't know if that's where you're going, but that I would look there too.
Well, I mean, I live in North Carolina, so.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, what I'm trying to tell you is, it looks a little chilly. Krista had these little outfits picked out, and then I showed her the 10-day forecast. She's like, "Oh, so pants and sweatshirt." Moving on.
I think you're gonna be all right, man.
Yeah, dude. It's she if it's not, we would go out in the boat, and as soon as it dropped below 88 degrees at night, as we were coming back in, she would be in a sweatshirt. All the towels that were used for that day were wrapped around her, and I'm like, over there, no shirt, still dripping wet from the river, and I'm like, "How are you cold?" And she's like, "I'm freezing." How? Makes no sense to me. All right, guys, we are out of here. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I have good reception up and down 95. So, Brian Waller, again, thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Don't forget, you can watch or listen to this on Apple what is it?
Apple podcast.
Yeah. Apple at Paramotor Hangout. Will, where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on YouTube. Just search for Will Fly, or online at willflyppg.com.
Oh, here, real quick. Hold on. Look at this on the board here. What Greg put.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mark, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Paralife PPG, and hopefully in the next day or two, I'll have had a new video from Brian Waller's Walden Field. And
Holler at the Waller fly-in.
Yep, holler at the Waller. So hopefully I'll have that video out in the next day or two at Paralife PPG on YouTube.
All right, you can find me here at Never Trust Shane and on TikTok at ppgshane.com. All right, guys, thank you very much for coming by and stopping out and hanging out with us. Hope to see you guys next week. Have a great night.
Peace.